Hello YouTube viewers, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sritips. This will be part 10 of the stock pot refining series. In part 9, I said I wasn't going to bore you with the incineration of the paper any further, but there's a little bit more to incinerating that stuff than just throwing it in a hot pan and burning the paper off. There's a few techniques that I've learned to get that stuff incinerated properly to make the extraction of the metals easier. And so I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of that, and then we're going to proceed with getting the precious metals out of the paper. It's the following morning. I've started the incineration of the paper. You can see I got right much of it out of the beaker and into this pan. And I'm just going to let this cook for about an hour and just let it go. Come back out and we'll check it in a few minutes and stir it up. I discovered that leaving the lid off allows oxygen to get to the material, and I get a better incineration by leaving that pan off the top there. Those ashes are turning from black to grayish yellow colored, and I think the key here is to not crowd that pan, and I'm going to keep incinerating until there's no more smoke coming from those ashes. As long as I can see smoke coming off that pan, that means the incineration is not complete. There's still material combusting in there. Alright, the material's been on incinerating now for about an hour, and I think it's ready. There's no more smoke coming off of there. It's a fine gray white ash. I'm going to turn the juice off here, and we'll let this cool down and proceed from here. There's no more smoke coming off this, so I'm going to move this off to the side over here, and I'm going to use this other pan to go ahead and continue to incinerate more of the material. It's supposed to rain today, so I'm going to go ahead and empty these ashes into this dish here and continue with this process. Alright, I bought some lighter fluid for this part of the process. This paper does not burn very easily. What I'm going to do is fire up the burner here. Here I tried to aid the incineration process with that lighter fluid, and it helped a little bit, but not that much. I think the key here is to keep that pan with that material on that hot flame for as long as possible to get the best incineration. At one point I looked down and the top of the lighter fluid can was on fire in my hand. I had to snuff it out with my hand. Okay, in this shot you'll see I'm adding lighter fluid to the paper, and the flame traveled up the stream of lighter fluid and caught the tip of the can on fire. Here I'm swapping out the pans to continue burning the material. I was a little concerned because the weatherman was calling for rain. This turned out to be a perfect day to burn this material. There was no wind. I do not believe you could do this on a windy day. It would blow the ash out of the pan. Alright, the little pan has been on for about an hour now. It's burned down to a fine ash. I transfer the ash from the large pan into my container, and then I swap the pans out and continue to incinerate the remaining paper that's in the beaker. I'm finally down to the bottom of my 5-liter beaker. That's the only one I got. I've been missing it for the last 2 months. It's been held hostage by this paper. Here I wet the inside of the beaker with some water and then use some paper towel to wipe out any residue, and then add the paper towel right to the incineration pan there. And finally, I get my 5-liter beaker back. It's been about an hour since I started this part, and I came out to check on it, and I noticed some molten metal in the bottom of the pan. Looks like aluminum. Apparently the pan has failed, and my propane torch, my propane rig there, has melted the aluminum core inside of this stainless steel pan. There you can see where it's separated on the bottom. And the cast iron skillet would probably work better here. Everything's been incinerated now. I scraped the ash from both of the cooled pans into my Corningware container. Here's a little review where we're at right now. Here's the first group of ash that I put some Aqua Regia on it and got a positive stannous test, so I still got that. Here's the ash that I just completed burning today. And over here, we've got our pans. Just want to show you this pan here. It failed miserably. I mean, there's aluminum exfoliating up through the stainless coating. Over here it burnt through and I had molten metal. And that's the last thing I need in my PGMs, my platinum group metals, is some aluminum. Don't want that in there. So this pan here was probably not a good one to use for this incineration process. But the turkey fryer rig that I bought at a yard sale for 10 bucks worked pretty doggone good. It held up. I modified it and moved the burner up closer to the pan up here. Let's see, I got about, that's probably got about that much in it. About a little less than a quarter of a tank. It was full when I started. So I used up quite a bit of propane, but propane's pretty cheap. That tank's gonna cost me probably 20 bucks to get it refilled, so that's where we are. Well, this will conclude part 10 of the Stock Pot Refining series. I did not intend to film the entire process of burning the rest of that material. I thought it wouldn't be beneficial, but it turned out to be very beneficial. Wrote a few things down here. I learned that leaving that pan over the top of the pan on the burner is not a good idea. It's best to leave that pan off so that the air can get to the material and completely burn it. Let's see, the lighter fluid was not very effective, and as you've seen in the video, it was dangerous. It traveled up the stream as I was squirting it on the fire there and lit the top of the lighter fluid can on fire. Let's see, the other thing I learned was don't crowd the pan. Put just enough material in there to loosely fill the pan with material, and it produces a much better incineration. My propane rig got so hot that it caused those pans to fail. Evidently there is an aluminum core inside the pan, and by leaving that pan on that propane flame for an extended period, it caused the stainless steel to fail, and the molten aluminum was coming up through the pan and getting in with my ash. Fortunately, not a bunch of that got in the ash. I was able to pick out the little pieces that were starting to freeze in the ash. And that's the last thing I need, is some aluminum in here. It causes problems in refining. So the better choice would have been a cast iron pan to do these incinerations. And last but not least, I got my 5-liter beaker back. It's been held hostage by that paper for, well, since before Thanksgiving, when I experienced the disaster in video number 8. So that will conclude part 10 of the video. Thanks for watching.